Good morning. Welcome back to Dower House Farms. It's not frank, but it's badly wanted. So, day 100, I'm just going to do a day in the life. It's about 7:30 now, and I'm heading out for the day. It's absolutely Baltic. Just get the silage pushed in here first. I'd say I actually won't have to do any feeding now until early this evening. We made a few adjustments to the diets there now for we went into a new batch of silage and a new batch of whole crop. So we're just I overestimated how much I should have given them. So bar this bunch are fine. I'll feed them away there first thing this morning. The bulls was bang on, the cows was a little bit over and the weanlings were a little bit over, so I'll feed the cows, the bulls next, and we must get in another group of weanlings then, put all the cows up above, up on top, so as long as the gallop done, he's going to take off the harrow, putting on the feeder. So we're in the yard now. The water up at the house is frozen. The plastering, there's plasterings there, so I'll bring up an IBC from. First random job of the day. No, take it off and I'll feed the bulls there. Yeah, perfect. Thanks. A day in life, we'll give you all the gory details. Job done. I'm going to get the silage pushed in there now, and I'm actually going to go and do glass measures on 2 farms, then 2 of our own farms. I'm sort of humming and hanging. I'm in between whether to bring in weanlings now or leave them for another week. The weather is starting to break, but they're happy outside and it's cheap feeding outside, so the best way to know, they say if you don't measure it, you can't manage it, so I'm going to go and measure it. What a beautiful morning in East Cork this morning. Nice and cool, but it's lovely. So I'm over here on this is a grass field that one of our neighbours owns, and there's a really nice steep pull up here. So he kindly leaves us use it for galloping horses during the winter. Just having a look to see does it need any little bit of attention. I might come over here now today with the horses. So I suppose average farm cover ideally is about 600 or that, closing up, but it's more this is the problem. That grass is lying down flat now. There's probably a cover of in or about 2,200 on it. Utilisation will be poor. You'll probably only get about 1,400 off it, but you can't leave that there for the winter, because if you get late spring, all the clover that's in that will be smothered out over the winter and you'll end up with a big pile of rubbish next spring, so that needs to be grazed. So there's actually one group, but I split them in 2 just because the paddocks are a little bit wet here. This farm is sort of wet in parts of it, so it's not a farm and it's sort of away from the yard and you must load them up. You can't rehouse out of this farm, so when you go out here you stay out here. So realistically I won't be out here until the 1st of March at the earliest, right? So my plan at the moment on this farm is to drop the cover down to about 200, which seems madness, right, for this time of the year. But from now till the 1st of March, give or take, you've 90 days, right? With an average growth rate of 10, that's 900. So that means on the 1st of March I'll have an average farm cover of 1100. which means the farm will be fairly level all the same, but you'll be starting off into thousands, and by the time you get to the end, the last cover on that, on the first rotation, you'll probably be up close in 2000. So it should work. It's what I'm going to do. I know the history of this farm, so I'm going to do that. Look, what we'd sort of, on a dairy type setup, we'd sort of say, don't run your cover below 600 when you're going housing them. 500 maybe on very warm farms. But doctors differ, patients dying. This is what we're going to do in this farm, and from history I know that it's the right thing to do. So these calves are going to stay out for another 10 days. We'll probably put them in, what day is today? Thursday. We'll probably put them in this day next week, something like that, I'd imagine. So they have two covers of about two paddocks with covers of about 2,000 left to graze. Once they're grazed, in they go. So another thing we've done with the weanlings that are still out of grass that most people will probably think is crazy, we've stopped feeding them because ground conditions are getting poor now. Clean outs are going to be terrible if they're sort of in heavy covers. Clean outs are going to be terrible if you're feeding them, and they'll give more time walking around and things. So yes, we are going to drop back in our live weight gain for this week, but they'll pick it up again when they go in. And look, conditions are just gone too mucky to be going out with bags of ration now and things. It's not the best thing to be doing for the animal, but it is the best thing to be doing for the farm and for us. So there's always 100 different parameters when you're making a decision in farming, and that's the decision we've taken. It's not a big deal either way. Like, with the frost now and grass starting to dry down, dry matter is going up, so it's actually much easier for them to get their full dry matter allocation, to eat their full dry matter allocation this week as opposed to 3 weeks ago, because grass was growing vigorously and it was very watery. It's not so much the case now. So the situation on this farm is sort of similar. If I graze out all the heavy covers, which I'd like to, it brings my cover down to about 300. There's two covers of 1600 I can leave there, and it brings my cover to, if I leave them two covers, it brings my average farm cover up to 450, which is probably close to where it needs to be. This is an early farm, and a lot of the nicer covers on the farm are reseeded this spring. So I think I'm going to take the decision to leave the heavier covers on this farm. I don't particularly like doing it, but again, there's loads of different pieces of the pie, and the only thing about this place is the calves that are here aren't those that are vaccinated. So I don't want to go vaccinating them and putting them straight in. So going by my calculations, if I graze them two heavier covers, it'll be average farm cover will be down to 250ish. That should be 750 by the middle of that should be back up to 1,000 by the middle of February. 75 days growth rate of 10, 750 plus 250, you're back up to 1,000, which is perfect. So if I let 40 cattle onto this farm, they're 45 days grazing without any growth ahead of them at that stage, which is probably close to 30 because utilisation in the spring is terrible, but you'll have growth, so I'm going to graze it. And this is why you come out and do farm walks. This is why grass measuring, people say grass measuring this time of the year is a complete waste of time. It's absolutely not. It's vital, in my opinion. I haven't done that many walks on our own farm all year because I know I just look. Morning, lad. This is a Marler 4-year-old. Grand horse. I don't usually ride him out because he's quite out, but he's massive. So he's again, we'll run him in the spring hopefully. Come here. Will you do an interview? You're going to win in the spring. Or I'd say I'll win first mile. I'm a right horse. Boy and check. Second canter now in the first lot. These horses will do canter about 2 miles around here. It's a quarter of a mile in the gallop, so they'll do about 8 or 10 rounds. Give them a roll in the sand when we're finished riding them out. They won't be rolling in the stable. Have a good old scratch. You getting up? Hey, stop. Come here. I'm just doing a mix there now for the bulls. A bit later than usual, but sorry. A bit later than usual. Usually I try and do the mixing first thing in the morning, but it's one of those sort of in between mornings now. There's 3 mixes to do now today. The cows, the weanlings, and the bulls. Yeah, I'm doing the bulls now. Now we're going to go bring in the calves then. The last group of calves and vaccinate them. And I'll fade away then for the evening maybe. So I hope you're enjoying this day in the life video, this 100th video of Dower House Farms. Just out of curiosity now, I'm going to go back this evening and watch my first video and see the difference. I don't know, I think there wouldn't be any difference really, because I haven't increased my editing. None of this is staged, it's just literally chatting away whatever comes to my head. So yeah, I'm going to go back and do it now as it just out of interest anyway and see. My mower is there. I must get that put in now. Tomorrow I'm going to try and get that put in tomorrow if I can, because get it washed and put away. If you don't, these things, if you don't look after gear, it does get shook quick. Just getting the mix done now for the cows. We got weanlings in there and weighed them. I never realised that my phone wasn't recording, so missed all that. Whoopsie daisies. This is the mix now for the weanlings. Fairly bulky for 100 weanlings, but there's a lot of straw in it. There's about 4 kilos of beef, half kilo soya, red clover silage, whole crop silage, and straw. About 3/4 of a kilo of straw. That's just to help their stomach expand when they go into, so they'll be able to eat as much as they can for the winter. It's not a very hot diet, so 4 kilos of beef is about the equivalent of 1 kilo ration, and 3/4 of a kilo of soya, so they're only on about 1.5 kilos of ration, and they're on a lot of straw, very good silage and whole crop silage. So they should do, I'd hope, 0.8, 0.9 for the winter, and they'll go out to grass. This doesn't put any, this keeps them nice and warm, but they won't have any fat on them to lose when they go out. This will grow their frame, and it's one thing doing compensatory growth on weanlings in the shed, but not at the cost of growing them. It's okay to have cattle light on flesh going out. You want them that way, but you want them to keep growing all winter. So I'm just back in the house here now. Job's done for the day. Actually didn't get to do that much filming because I had to take a load of phone calls. So yeah, that's it now for day 100. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you again tomorrow for more Dower House Farms. Thumbs up.